Welcome to Dr. Cush's Exotic Drinks. I'm, of course, Dr. Cush, along with my barback Kyle. I'm not a real doctor, but I did spend almost 2 decades running some of LA's best bars. After years of teaching classes and training bartenders, I want to demystify the cocktail world for you. Let's try a few new things as I open up my bar to everybody. Belly up, chat, and let's have a drink. No music? Welcome. What is it? I feel alone here. Welcome everybody to Dr. Cush's Exotic Drinks. I am Dr. Cush. We are here tonight to celebrate International Women's Day. Now, why am I celebrating International Women's Day? Why specifically me? And I will tell you this right now. I couldn't think of anything else. That's not true. In fact, listen to this. If you search International Women's Day cocktails online, you will notice that a lot of mix comes up because I have made this a yearly tradition over at Mix, and now we are bringing it over here to Dr. Cush's Exotic Drinks to shout out some of the women bartenders that have absolutely changed the game. We have 3 great ones today. We're going to be making some pretty classic cocktails. I mean, no doubt about it. Some of these are absolute bangers. I had, to be very honest, no idea that that one of them, I didn't know who created it. So it could have been anybody. It could have been some sort of alien, a bear. Literally a bear could have created a cocktail. I would have had no idea who created it. But Katie Stipe created a great cocktail that we're going to be dealing with here today. And that's it. We won't get too deep into the rest of, I don't know if I'm a great spokesperson for all women. Just me, really. I'm just going to speak for me. But one woman that I do want to say a very, very happy birthday to is my mom. My dad jumped on here earlier to let you guys know, as if now he gets to take the credit for reminding me that had happened, that I had already called her. The card should be there or on its way. But very happy birthday to my mother. Bon Bon, one of the great women in this bar, no doubt about it. Probably one of the great women. I imagine everywhere people go, everywhere Bon Bon goes, she's like, yeah, she's a great woman. We love having Bon Bon around. So a very, very happy International Women's Day to you, Bon Bon. Shawnee P, not a woman, but if there was an International Shawnee P Day, trust me, I'd put that on this show. No doubt about it. Moose. Ugh, Moose. Lazy. I mean, really, get your act together, pal. Wake up at 3 a.m. and watch this show like a normal person. Sleeping through alarms, missing this show. My goodness, Moose. You know, Moose, the show plays later, too. I mean, we love having you, but I feel like I get sleep paranoia. If I have to wake up with any less than 8 hours of sleep, I can't sleep all night. I'm too afraid to sleep. So I don't know how you do it, Moose, but we love having you here, obviously. Here's my dad again with a hey gang. He's made you guys a gang now. So bad influence. Where do you think I get it? Get it from my dad. You guys were just a group of cushies, and now, unfortunately, you're a gang. Next time you're going to be a terrorist organization. I don't know what's going on. It's really going too fast, guys. We got to calm this down. DC Debbie Clark, winner of the 2023 Cush Tucky Derby, listening to Kaleo Saturday nights and music and cocktails. I think you might need an Oxford comma in there somewhere. Hello to you, DC Debbie Clark, winner of the 2023 Cush Tucky Derby. Good to see you. KT is here. Kyle Tender. It's cold everywhere. Just a reminder. You know what? I'm not going to remind you. Listen, daylight savings tomorrow. It's the bad one. Can we please? I'm adding one thing to my platform when I run for president. We're going to get liquor stores in check. All right, everybody's going to have the same liquor store policy. No more of this. No more of this stupid liquor store policy. We're going to get liquor in check in the United States. All right, liquor to everybody. Everybody gets liquor. And 2, we got to get rid of this daylight savings time. Throws me right off. Already, I'm terrified of my sleep, and I don't have to do anything tomorrow. Roger G, happy birthday, Susan. Happy International Women's Day to everybody. It's a good way to say it. Nailed it. Tiki Tom is here, ready to go. Every evening to you, pal. Always a pleasure, as they say. Never a chore. Cocktail Lulu. Cheers and happy birthday, Mama Cush. Mama Lang is what she is now, but Mama Cush works. Bon Bon been remodeling a bathroom, Dougie G has been. So that's, get him to work. If you don't put Doug to work, I feel like he will wander off. So I do think it's important that we keep Dougie G occupied. All right, make you a drink. All right, let's get into it. A lot of women have worked behind bar. What the hell just fell? Gotta stop hitting the bar. A lot of women have been bartenders, obviously. That's not a brilliant statement that I've just made. This is no poem that I am writing and composing right now. But there have been a lot of great ones too. There have probably been as many great lady bartenders as there have dude bartenders. So I just want to talk about one real quick. Ada Coleman, the first ever female. Should I say female? Should I say women? I don't know what to say anymore. I've lost just the ability to relate to anybody. So one of the greatest women bartenders. She ran the Savoy, the American bar at the Savoy. She was the very first head of the bartender program there. It just seems like an absolute beast. I mean, seems like a real bartender's bartender. She came up with a great drink out there called the Hanky Panky. I've made the Hanky Panky a number of times on the show. It does contain Fernet, which we all know I love Fernet. Other than that, gin, basically a sweet gin martini with a little Fernet. It's delicious. We're not going to make it on the show, but I think it's important that we start at the beginning with Ada Coleman. We're going to skip a lot of bartenders on the way because I want to get up into the recent cocktail revolution starting in the early 2000s, right around 2004, 2005. Lucky for me, it started right when I got out of college, so I had a place to be. I got out with a comparative literature and theater degree from the University of Southern California. I didn't know what else to do. I left the United States for a while. I went to go live in Europe for a little bit, and then I came back, and thank goodness, bars were back, baby. Well, while I was out lollygagging, playing the ukulele in Europe, a lot of people were out here starting up bars. We're going to be doing two different cocktails from a cocktail bar called the Pegu Club. Anybody ever heard of the Pegu Club? It's a Soho bar. It closed many years ago. But certainly one of, I mean, we're talking the Pegu Club, we're talking Milk and Honey. Later on, we start talking about things like Death and Co. But really, the Pegu Club, Milk and Honey, if you look at who worked at those bars, and then you look at who started all of the other influential bars, you'll notice that they are all the same name. Bartenders that were absolutely killing it at the Pegu Club and Milk and Honey went off and started up bars such as Copa de Oro out here, Italy, that's Vincenzo, Attaboy, that's Sammy Ross, a lot of great people. Audrey Saunders, who we're going to talk about next. I want to talk about Katie Stipe now. Katie Stipe, who I have never talked about before. I just read a whole profile on her moments before the show started. So anything that I say that is wrong, Katie, I tried to follow her on Instagram. So hopefully, Katie, if you're watching on Instagram, say hi. The thing works. It pops right up, just like one of these, like where Tom laughed at Doug. If you want to also laugh at Doug, just put a little thing in there. Katie was a dancer. She was a dancer. A real journeyman, really somebody that traveled an awful lot, found her way after sort of dancing in the day and bartending at night, found her way to Audrey Saunders and the Pegu Club. She seems like a super interesting person. Well, she created a cocktail that I have made many times. Oh, crap. It's up here. I have to get some tequila. I forgot about that. Kyle, my Kyle. You know what? I'll just get it. Hold on for a second, guys. I don't want to break the illusion, but I forgot to get tequila, and now there's a whole situation going on where I don't have any tequila, and you know, it becomes an issue. I got to take my headphones off to get to it. Reach across here. Oh no. Oh, it's not up there. Uh-oh. We might have to fake tequila tonight, guys. I don't think I have any tequila behind the bar. I have everything else. All right, we're going to fake it. Anyway, she created a cocktail called the Siesta. Now, why, oh why, do I love the Siesta? The Siesta has always been described to me as the tequila version of a Hemingway daiquiri. And I love the Hemingway daiquiri. I will say it. I have little ones. Oh, I have little ones. That's brilliant, Kyle. I have little tequilas. Ooh, Kyle with the win. Lots of little tequilas. Corazon. How do I describe Corazon? It's little. It's always been described as the tequila version of the Hemingway daiquiri. That sounds fine with me. I love a Hemingway daiquiri. It's got a lot of flavors that I like in there. And this one from Katie seems to be right on the money. A little bit more sour, a little bit bigger flavors. But thank you, Katie, for all of your work on this one. Let's get into this one. We're going to start off with a cocktail called the Siesta. So let's grab our shakers. Ooh. I should have like a system for the bar, do you think? How do you think that would work? Who do you contract to get a system going for a bar like this? Teeny tiny bar, one person, wouldn't really need much, but I just need a system. Okay, let's get into it. We're going to start over here by putting. This is hilarious. We're opening up teeny tiny bottles of tequila. Oh, we're going to start with tequila. Oh, we need 1.5 ounces. You know what's great about these little bottles? There's just a little bit more than 1.5 ounces in here. Love that. We're going to do our old bartender trick. It's a deep trick. I mean, honestly, hopefully they don't kick me out of the guild for this one, but I do just want to show you this one. It goes like this. We're not going to measure that. It doesn't make any sense. Just pour it right in there. Everybody will be good. Okay. Tequila instead of rum. Obviously, it's the tequila version of a cocktail called what? The Hemingway daiquiri. So now we are going to build the rest of this Hemingway daiquiri. We're going to start over here with some, not plantation rum. We upcycle at this bar. If you look inside, that does not look like plantation rum. That is, of course, grapefruit juice. Fresh squeezed grapefruit juice coming out of the great state where I was born called, what was it called? I think it was called Arizona. Yeah, Arizona. Go ahead and put in 3/4 ounce. Sorry, let me take that back. Let me get this exactly right. 1/2 ounce of some grapefruit juice. Let me tell you all about shaking your juice, otherwise you get a little bit clear on top, but then it gets too fat on the bottom. Fat on the bottom. Then your drinks are too thin when you start to drink them, but when you drink them later, oh, there, so fat. If you're bottling your liquids, obviously give them a shake beforehand. That's kind of amateur stuff. I'm feeling real amateur right now. Go ahead and put in 1/2 ounce of some grapefruit juice. Bloop. Feeling good about that. Put this away. We will use it again later. 2 grapefruit juice cocktails tonight. So sorry for everybody that is on medication that disallows you from grapefruits. You will only have the opportunity to drink 1. Hopefully you're not allergic to artichoke, because then you will not be able to drink any of them today. We need lime juice. This right here, our old friend, pseudo lime. Filled it up again today. Seems good. I think, Doug, Cocktail Lulu, will you run into the bathroom where Doug is working, hopefully, and just tell him? I do think that it was exposed to air versus that it was bad. So I do think the air had something to do with it. The rest of it that has been properly capped off is still existing very well. So the pseudo juice does seem to be a a viable option. We're going to go ahead and put in 3/4 of an ounce of some, what do you call this? Lime juice. Yes, I'm using the top. I'm using the top now. So this one, boop, little top there. So now I don't have to worry anymore about all those little moldies getting in there, little black molds, and then absolutely accidentally drinking black mold. Not one of my biggest fears yet, but give it a minute. Let me drink a little black mold accidentally one day, and we will decide how big of a fear it becomes. Simple syrup. Simple syrup. I would just drink this stuff straight. I've recently decided that I do think that butter is one of my favorite foods, probably my favorite food. I do think simple syrup, if I could get away with it, I think I would drink just straight simple syrup. I think, like, you know, if I ever met a genie and the genie was like, hey, you can only eat one thing, but you'll never gain any weight on it, simple syrup would be up there. Sugar and water, come on, it's the dream. 3/4 of an ounce of some simple syrup. This is 1-to-1 simple syrup. I could not find how Miss Stipe did it, but I assume, because I've made this drink again, I have probably made, and this is no exaggeration, I bet I made 50 of these cocktails in my life. I bet I've made 50 different siestas in my life. Had no idea who created it, so very excited that I found out. I've always put in 1-to-1 simple syrup. Last little bit. Instead of the maraschino liqueur, I have new Italian people that I hang out with now, so they do get very upset with me when I say maraschino. It's not a joke anymore. They do get very upset with me. Instead of the maraschino liqueur by our good friends at Luxardo, instead we're going to be using this guy, purchased at Ralph's. Thank you, Ralph's, for absolutely tattooing my bottle. This is what I needed. I needed everybody to know that I did not support a local shop. Instead, I supported Ralph's. I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm going to go to different stores. Campari, a red Italian bitter. I guess it's not an Amaro. I've complained about this before. It's just a red Italian bitter, probably the most famous red Italian bitter. You don't need much in this one. We just want a little bit of a pink hue. We're going to go ahead and put in 1/4 of an ounce. That's it. 1/4 of an ounce. We can deal with that. Even if you don't like Campari, you can deal with 1/4 of an ounce. 1/4 of an ounce of some Campari. Oh, I went over. What do I do? Normally, we just pour that in. We call that a Tiki pour and go on with it. But I don't like Campari that much. So we're going to pour a little bit out. A little bit more. That's good. That's a good Campari right there. 1/4 of an ounce of some Campari. Look. I desperately want to like Campari more. I really, really want to like Campari more. I really just wish the Campari and ginger beer. I want to like them both more, but I don't. I just don't. You know, I'll be very honest with you. I would take tequila, just like a middling tequila, over Campari almost any day. Kind of gross. Jen likes Campari. You could give it to her. Not anymore. I can't. Sorry. This is not National Jen Day. National Women's Day. So you don't get everything you want there, sweetheart. You will notice that these ice cubes are looking a little rough. These are from. I showed you guys how to make ice. You know how to make the molded ice that's nice and clear. This is from the little bottom bits. So I cut out. I cut the bottoms out of one of those little ice molds, and it does create 6 little ice cubes, but they are certainly the ice cubes that are not clear. So we're going to go ahead and just put these guys in here. Give this a nice little shake. Try not to waste as much when you make clear ice. Unfortunately, in order to make clear ice, you have to do directional freezing. And what happens when you do directional anything, some of them are going to be bad. So for a while, I was just tossing those. Now we're going to try and save them. I'm going to see how they do in a shake. They're a little holy, not in the like, oh, not that way. They're just like, there's like air holes all the way through them. So we're going to give this a shake. Here we go. Oh, good. Kyle's lawyer has arrived. Came in making some sort of lewd comments. Lawyers. Came right in, start making lewd comments, start making innuendos. It's just, you know, every time you deal with a lawyer. We're going to pour this guy in. We want to pour this one into a nice up cocktail glass, something that has a stem down here, a big fat bowl down here, a nipple right there if you want it to. This is a Marie Antoinette. Another, let me just say, one of the greatest drinkers of all time. I can only assume she drank all that good champagne, so much so that she had a whole glass named right after her. So, yes, I had made the bottom. Yes, I made the bottom bits comment. I made the bottom bits comment. I believe that you will see, as a lawyer, within context, you can extrapolate using your codes and your whatever else, laws, whatever you're doing. And you can certainly see that, of course. I meant the ice that was on the bottom of the thing. But, you know, there we go. This is it right here. It does have kind of a cool glow to it. Again, if I liked Campari more, I would do more things with Campari. I just find that most cocktails that have Campari in them end up tasting like Campari. And I know that that's sort of that's the thing. That's what you want. It'd be like, if you're putting an ingredient in there, it should taste a little bit like that ingredient. Campari's not my favorite thing, but it does have this really cool glow to it. It does call for a grapefruit to be floated on top of here. I believe one of these is a grapefruit. We'll call this a grapefruit. We're just going to go ahead and throw a little bit of, let's get garnish cam in here. Drop cam right there. Let's do the Super Pro. We got a show on the internet. We should do a pro. Get right there. What do you think? You win an award like that? You just take this and we go, oh yes. Oh my goodness, look at that. Everything stays above board. Everything begins and ends on the top. Let's take another little piece right there. Just complete the little circle. Oh boy, look at that. Oh my goodness, what a day we're having. This right here, our beautiful drink, this siesta. If you've never had one of these, this is in another class of, for about, I don't know, a year. For about a year in bartending, every single bar that I knew of, every bartender that I knew of, I'm sure I had one. I'm sure I can go check my old books. I can find one. Mezcal and Aperol. Everybody had a Mezcal and Aperol cocktail. They all ended up looking a little bit like this, a little pink. Mezcal and Aperol, just somebody found the combination and everyone's like, we can never stop this. This party train will never end. It's just going in loops. It's like that circle under Vegas. It's just going in loops, constantly. Just parties going on. It's going to be Aperol and Mezcal forever. That lasted about 1 year and it never happened again. But this right here, I would put that in a similar category to like the most famous of the Mezcal Aperol. Anybody want to take a guess? Anybody know what that one is? Mezcal, Aperol, lime juice, and yellow chartreuse. Anybody know what that is? We make it here on the show. We made it here on the show. We made our own version where we absolutely lit it on fire. This is where am I going to drink from this? I'm just going to push these to the side. Just fine. Garnish, man. The Naked and Famous. That is exactly right, Roger G. And immediately after that, probably stealing his idea, Dougie. The G brothers, Roger G and Dougie G. Both knew it. Let's see. Is there a time? Can I do time on these? I can't. Dang. The Division Bell, another great cocktail. But I would say the Naked and Famous, a little bit, I'm trying to remember exactly what's in a Division Bell. I'll remember in a minute. Cheers. Yeah, I mean, new rule. I think we got to have a new rule. Campari in a drink that fills one of these glasses. What is this, 3.5 ounces, something like that, 4 ounces? A 1/4 ounce of Campari is all you need. That's all you need. This right here, we talk about this all the time. This should be a lifetime supply. One of these bottles, 1/4 ounce. Let's see, 17 drinks. So you divide that, you multiply that by 4. So 17 times 2 is 34. 68. One of these should be 6. No, that's 2. That's 1.5 ounces. Dang. Let me just get on the adding machine real quick. Anybody have an abacus at home they can do this math real quick with? So what do we got? We got 17 drinks, but that's times 1.5 because that's 1.5 ounces, right? So we're good there. Then we're going to times that by 4. This should be 102 drinks. There should be 102 drinks in this because nobody needs to add any more than a 1/4 ounce of Campari. It should be served in one of these little bottles. You should have to buy Campari in something like this. Dashes of Campari. That's all you need. Mezcal, Aperol, Maraschino, and lime juice. That's the Division Bell. That's a good one. Yes, unless you make a lot of Jungle Birds. If you are making more than 102 Jungle Birds in a year, then fine. You listen. Bonbon, is that what's going on? Mr. Negroni disagrees. Yeah, that's the only problem with Campari, is it is in a great cocktail called the Negroni. Something about that one, I like a Negroni. I don't like Campari almost anywhere else. This is delicious. I will give this to Kyle. Kyle, will you give this to Jen, though? As it is International Women's Day, Kyle. Not International Faceless, Nameless, Gloved Ones Day. What day is that, do you think? Probably in May. I don't know. You just posted it yesterday. You just posted the Division Bell yesterday? I didn't get a chance to see it. I'm sorry. Yeah, that was a nice color on that drink. Thank you, Moose. Appreciate that. Kyle, do you want this one? Or yeah, when is International Kyle's Day? I think they do have a Kyle convention where just everybody shows up and their name is Kyle. There you go, buddy. Now that goes to Jen, so I'm going to need to hear her. You can have a sip of it, but the rest of it goes to Jen because I think she'll like this one. I know that she likes tequila more than I do. Take your time. Oh, I don't honestly. Every day is International Kyle Day, says Kim K. Hopefully that's not some sort of decree. See you, buddy. Good smile. Okay. Okay. That right there from our good friend Katie Stipe. I've never met her, but hopefully my Instagram friend. She's got one of those private accounts, so I couldn't just barge my way in there. I had to ask permission. Maybe she'll decide that she wants a part of this. Maybe she'll decide she doesn't want part of it. Either way, all good. I think she's living in. I don't want to dox her. It says on her Instagram thing. I think she's living in Portland now, no longer in New York. Speaking of New York, though, we gotta talk. What if I can't find Jen? Can I drink it then? What have you done with Jen? Kim K, you ready for some sort of missing persons case? Gonna need to find my wife here soon. Okay. Next drink. Audrey Saunders. What else can I say about Audrey Saunders? One of the great bartenders, not women bartenders, one of the great bartenders that has that turned cocktailing around. She started going to classes with oh gosh, it's right here. This guy right here. We all know Dale. This is Dale DeGroff. He's got his own pimento bitters right here. I started going out to see Dale DeGroff when he was on his crusade about taking cocktails more seriously. You know, has nobody told me that this is off? There we go. Taking cocktails more seriously, treating cocktails as if they aren't just like the main line to get you just hammered, but more as like a culinary art. That was Dale DeGroff. He started putting up posters. He started letting people know, hey, I'll be down at New York University. I'm going to be, talking about this. I'm going to do like for an hour. I'm just going to talk about like how great these drinks could be, how great they used to be, how this used to be an actual thing to do. And Audrey said, I'm in. Listen, I'll sign up. What, I got something else to do? Apparently she did not have anything else to do and started to hang out with our good friend Dale. And from there, Dale recognized that she was not only, and this is so important for bartenders, not only just somebody that mixed drinks. Everybody, listen, everybody can mix drinks. If you're watching this show and you just do what I do, and then maybe you memorize that thing and you just make that thing, you've made drinks, right? That's so important. The more important thing is the experience with the drink, right? It's if I got on here, no personality. I didn't yell at you guys constantly. I wasn't like talking at a louder volume than I needed to. If my hands stayed in my pocket and I just stared at you and I rattled off some recipes, this show would, first of all, kill somebody. I mean, honestly, it would put some people to sleep. Some people watch this while they're driving. It would put people to sleep. The change in volume, the care that I'm putting into this, the random facts and thoughtoids and things that bring you sort of in to this, that is important. And Audrey Saunders had that in spades. She also was a fabulous cocktail creator. Her drink that I love the most, the drink that she came up with, the Old Cuban, a spectacular cocktail, like a mint mojito, just a mojito, I guess, just a mojito with some champagne on it, slightly different. She did the gin mule. She is a beast. She is an absolute Goliath in this industry. But I came across one that I had not seen before, and so I wanted to make a Audrey Saunders cocktail. It's a stirring cocktail. Yes, everybody, listen, there they are. Everybody loves an Old Cuban. The Old Cuban is one of the great drinks. This is Audrey Saunders, one of the great bartenders to ever live. She's, it turns out, still alive. What do you mean? Not all bartenders have mustaches or wear aprons? Let me tell you something real quick, Doug. I have been on an apron hunt. I see that a lot of other bartenders online do wear aprons, and I'm still pretty confused about like where's everybody? How come I get 80 views on my videos? I'm starting to think maybe I need an apron. I don't think I'll wear it, but I think maybe just having it would be good. So I did find an apron, and I'm interested in an apron. I think at this point, I think also, and let me be very honest with you guys, this part of my beard is getting too white. I think I might just go mustache. I don't know. We got a lot to go. I may just be absolutely just falling right into the bartender trap. I have seen a few cool tattoos recently. So I don't know what's going on. Anyway, this is the Audrey Saunders cocktail that is called the Little Italy. The Little Italy. It's a Manhattan variation. We just recently, I believe last week on Saturday, did a Manhattan variation. But we tried to make it Tiki. This we're gonna do a Manhattan variation. We're gonna make it a little bit more Italian, even though There's already Italian vermouth in there. I feel like the Italians are getting way too much. Don't shave your beard. We ordered your glasses over Arizona. I'm just kidding, Lulu. First of all, I am not interested in an apron. I am also very not interested in shaving my beard. I think this makes me look distinguished. I know that my mom hates it because, you know, it must be tough to be the mother of somebody that has a white beard at this point. I can't even imagine. My mom, who just turned 40 this year, it must be tough for her to have a son that has a beard like this. Anyway, phew, good. No, we're not. Yeah, thank you, Butopia. I had the trim, hard trimming. Or no, we're not trimming anything. This is my look from now on. It's on all my branding. We're doing it. Okay, the Little Italy. We can get distracted. The Little Italy, a Manhattan variation. Manhattan variation really just means that we're going to be fortifying this. We're going to be adding in some vermouth or some wine, something like that. We are going to get some of our flavor, but also some of our length in this cocktail coming from fortified wine. That's really all a Manhattan variation is. So why don't we start over here? This is a gift from our good friend Paul. Paul will every once in a while just drop off random bottles of things that I don't know what to do with. Not that I don't know what to do with whiskey. I'm just saying, like, this, I would never have looked and said, I need to get the original wheated bourbon in my life. Paul said I needed it, and I said thank you. And that's all there is to it. So we're going to use this one. This is, Butopia, very impressed. Very impressed with Weller. I love Weller too, but I just, you know, like I'm like a kid, you know. If you leave me to my own devices, I will just buy rums. If you just let me be, I will only buy rums. But as a healthy, well-rounded human male who has a bar show, I do need to have other liquids. I do not have any tequila in this bar currently, except for the little ones that come in those packets or those little bottles. That's not good. That's not good. I do not have a well-rounded bar collection, but I have a lot of rum, and I think that's important. We're gonna go ahead and put in 1 3/4 ounces of some whiskey, so almost to the top of a 2-ounce jigger. And then just pour it out. There we go. Somewhere between 1.5 and 2. Find yourself that. I've certainly gotten into it. I mean, listen, I broke it open. Woo-wee! Dang. Paul is not here, but I think Paul would like to know that he is the man. I agree, man. Tequila fixing to go up in price. Yeah, honestly, I probably should go. I think, let me tell you what, I think all booze is fixing to go up in price here in a second. So if you can, I would recommend buy a lot of booze. Just buy a lot of booze right now. Just get to the store, buy a lot of booze. Or else, and let me tell you one great thing to do, go become a brand rep and they give you booze for free. Okay, what makes this a Little Italy? Not the Italian vermouth, no. That's also how you say no in Italy. No. That's how you say it in France. How do you say it? This is Cynar. Cynar. It's like if you dang, I was gonna try and do an Australian joke. Let me see if I can place it real quick. No. It's like if somebody, you know, it's half the phrase. If somebody walks up and like, hey, Australian guy, do you do any of those like meditative martial arts? And they'll go, Tai Chi, nar. Tai Chi, nar. Chi, nar. Dang, that would have been. It's not going in the act or anything. My goodness. Cynar, of course, is not just decorated with artichokes, but it is made of artichokes. It is an artichoke liqueur. It is, and I mean this in the nicest possible way, it is disgusting. It is very, very difficult to stomach. But at just a 1/2 ounce, this is going to basically be replacing our bitters in a normal cocktail. Give us a little bit more flavoring than just adding some Angostura bitters. We want to go ahead and put in a half an ounce of some Cynar. Slowly, slowly, slowly. Don't over pour. I don't have to take a shot of this. There we go. Right at the time. Half an ounce. So we're gonna get a little bit of extra flavoring. Basically, Cynar is just gonna be like extra flavoring. I have found. Can I tell you guys real quick, if I can give an honest review? I have found that the bell jiggers do not pour out all the way. So I'm always left with this little like pool at the bottom of our bell jiggers. I get a much better pour from the Japanese jiggers. So we're gonna start doing some real soul searching on what kind of jigger family we are. From Trader Giotto's, right here. This is the Rosso Vermouth. 3/4 of an ounce of some vermouth. Oh, sorry. Italian red vermouth, obviously. I'm sure that Audrey had a specific vermouth that she was interested in. I'm sure it was something like, you got to throw some Punta Mess in there. You got to throw some Campano Antiquo or someone that I've never heard of. I'm sure she had those stipulations. Not for this. We're throwing in Sole Vermute Aperitivo. 3/4 of an ounce of some sweet red vermouth. Oh, dang. Did a double touch. I'll never get that shot back. Okay. Throw in a little bit of ice. Why not? Grab a little finger. Give this a stir. There's something going on in the comments that I do want to talk about, and I want to just make sure that we know what's going on. Debbie Clark says she prefers gold to silver tequila. DC, are we talking about Reposado? Are we talking about Añejo? Or are we talking about actual gold tequila, like a Cuervo Gold? I have to know. I've never heard anybody say that they like gold tequila. I've heard people say that they prefer Reposado. I've never heard anybody be like, hey, I gotta have that Cuervo. You might be the first person, and I would love to hear about it. Go clean that off. And we will put this one up as well. Obviously, stirred the drink, we put it up. Now this, that's a frosted glass. Look at all that frost there on the bottom. I would never serve this, but it's just me tonight. Pour this guy in. This is the Audrey Saunders version of or one of her versions of a Manhattan. The Little Italy. I don't know enough about New York to tell you exactly where Little Italy is. So maybe it's in Manhattan. That would be helpful. We do need cherries. I need to go on a cherry run here soon. Please judge me, but don't judge me. Let me be. Leave me alone about it. But we're going to be putting in some of these maraschino cherries, bright red ones. If Audrey is watching this, sorry, girl. I should have gotten better cherries before this, but sometimes these shows are planned moments before we go on. A lot of this is just stuff that I've memorized. I took Doc's recommendation and have writer's tears. That's a good bottle. There we go. DCW Clark. Reposado. Yeah, I'll be very honest with you, DCW Clark. I think that Reposado is also my favorite type of tequila. It's just got enough of the smoothing out of all of the big agaves, but also, still tastes a little bit like what's going on. That's really good. Yeah, it's I'll tell you what it does, which is kind of fun. The Chinar, normally I feel like a Manhattan, the way that I make them. I know a lot of people are like Manhattan, take out the vermouth, take out the bitters. You want cold whiskey. The way I make them, 2-to-1, can be a kind of sweet, like a kind of a sweet drink. Yeah, it's got some big booze in there. Obviously, it's a booze forward situation. But I found it to be really sweet. This has kind of a drying sensation. Like I feel like the sides of my tongues, my multiple tongues that live inside my mouth. This is how I talk so much. The sides of my tongue, kind of like they like tingle a little bit with the Chinar. Hopefully, is that a sign of something? Am I going into diabetic? I don't believe I have diabetes. Runs in my family, I suppose, but. Is Chinar similar to Fernet? Yeah. Butopia, I would say in a basic sense, I would say yes, you would absolutely find that Chinar and Fernet have similar flavor profiles. Not exact, obviously nothing's exact, but yeah, I would say Chinar and Fernet will certainly sort of, they run in the same family. I know for a fact, I should memorize this better. All of my Manhattan variations. What else am I doing with my day? Nothing. I'm just sitting, staring into the world. I should be memorizing these things. I know that there is a Manhattan variation that uses Fernet like they use Chinar in this. So you can play with that. Find different versions of. I mean, really, these are up for grabs. If you guys are desperate to create your brand new cocktail, let me tell you what to do. Watch for new Amari. Anytime a new Amaro drops, do 2 parts whiskey, 3/4 of the sweet vermouth, and 1/2 ounce of whatever that new Amaro is, and you have created a brand new thing. Name it after something in New York, and you are good to go. This one's called the Statue of Liberty. This one's called, 2 rats fighting. This one's called, that pea smell that sort of is just everywhere. You can call it, this is called the steam from where whatever's going on underneath New York, it's called the steam from that. Any of those are possible names. Anytime a new Amaro comes out, just drop it in. Boy, I've talked for a while. We have to get into one more cocktail. Kyle, do you want this? You can have it. I don't know if this is like Kyle's jam. I want to get into one from a person that I have basically bumped into like 20 times, but have never had a conversation. There we go, Kyle. Kyle's coming in. There you go. Got it. See it. Oh, will you throw me a towel on your way back? Oh, I got one right here. Never mind. Thank you. Somebody that I've run into a number of times. If you have never picked up her books, I think you should. It's called Tiki, a modern something or other. A modern Tiki, a modern something. Her name is Shannon Mustipher. Just look up Shannon Mustipher. Shannon Mustipher is a badass. Really, without people like Shannon Mustipher, rum sort of disappears. You don't have people like Shannon Mustipher out there teaching with the Kane Collective. You don't have people like the big mustachioed one, Eddie Hamilton, out here making sure that we're bringing back extinct rums. We have a lot less versions of rum. So I wanted to make a Shannon Mustipher cocktail. It's called the Golden Barnacle. It seems like a pretty, I would be shocked if people hadn't stumbled upon this before, but like sometimes things are just right in front of us. We don't make them. We just don't do it. And Shannon Mustipher, no idea when this one came out, no idea when this cocktail came out. I know it's in her Tiki, a modern something or other book. Can somebody please tell me what the name of that book is so I don't keep saying something or other? But this is called the Golden Barnacle, and it seemed really interesting to me. We're going to be dealing with some Dawn's Mix, so we're going to be making some Dawn's Mix live on camera. Can you believe it? And then we're going to be doing a little bit of rum mixing. It's great. Love that idea. And then we are going to be shaking and stirring over, and serving over some ice. So this is Shannon Mustafer, a true Tiki idol. Bon already did. Great. Bon, will you Bon? Yes, Tiki modern tropical cocktails. Highly recommended. This book. There is the problem with a lot of Tiki is that there are a billion ingredients in everything. This book is no exception. You got to make syrups and you got to get your stuff together. But if you don't want to be making the same 12 Tiki cocktails for the rest of your life, that is something that you got to do. And certainly Shannon Mustafer is one of the good ones. So thank you, Shannon Mustafer, for all that you do. Let's get into it. We are going to start off by making our Dawn's Mix. So we're going to be putting in half an ounce. Where's my little one? There you are. Half an ounce of some cinnamon syrup. Cinnamon simple. It is 1-to-1. You can tell it's cinnamon because there's a cinnamon stick in there. Cinnamon 1-to-1. There we go. 1 ounce of cinnamon syrup. And 1 ounce of some grapefruit. Now, this is probably not the grapefruit that everybody loves. The white grapefruit. But it is fresh white grapefruit. And I do think that it's better to have fresh than bottled, whether it's pink or white. So go ahead and put in half an ounce of some grapefruit juice. That right there should do it. Now, Shannon does recommend in her mix, in the Dawn's Mix, to put a little honey in there. I'm not going to do that. Nothing against what's going on. I think that... I'll be very honest, she probably knows better. But I'm going to keep it like this. I feel like we have a lot of sweet going into this drink for the rest of it. So I don't want to lose anything. If by the end of it, I'm thinking, gosh, it does seem like it's missing a little something, we'll throw a little honey in there at the end. I have some honey right here. It's not that I don't have it. I just feel like maybe, maybe no. We're going to be putting in half an ounce of some lime juice. She calls for fresh lime juice. Again, I hate to keep disagreeing with this person I've never met, but we're going to be using pseudo juice, just easier for the bar. And in my opinion, it tastes exactly the same, if not just a little bit better. Okay, this is where it starts to go crazy. The next 3 ingredients are a lot of fun. We're going to be putting in some pimento dram. Now, I have homemade pimento dram. I assume that's not what she's doing. So we are going to keep with the allspice pimento. If you want instead, I guess this is allspice, so maybe she's calling for pimento. She might be calling for Ed Hamilton's version of the pimento dram. I don't have it, so we're going to put it on this one. This is what we're going to do. Half an ounce of some pimento dram. Bloop. I'm already starting to see an issue with the way that I'm making this, which is, of course, I use pink grapefruit juice, and this is called the Golden Barnacle. This is not going to turn out like a Golden Barnacle. Let me say hello real quick to Frank. Frank is watching us. He's the low carb cocktail guy. He's watching us over on Facebook. So what's up, Frank? Good to see you, pal. It's nice to remind everybody that if you want to comment from somewhere other than YouTube, I can see it. So fun to know. Okay, next thing we're going to do is we're going to be splitting up our rums. Now, one, we're going to be doing a Jamaican, and one, we're going to be doing an agricole. What Jamaican are we using? We're going to be using a pot still. That's what she wants. That's what she's going to get. We're going to be putting in Bonbon and Smith & Cross. Technically, if you guys are looking for it, don't ask them for Bonbon and Smith & Cross. They will have no idea what you're talking about. Someplace will. Someplace in Nevada will know exactly what you're talking about. But for the rest of them, they won't. Just find some Smith & Cross. It is a pot stilled, which means that we're going to get a lot of those The flavors is not overly distilled, so it's going to be a ton of big Jamaican flavors. A little overproof. We're going to be putting in 3/4 of an ounce. Of some pot still Jamaican. And because no rum person is ever satisfied with the way that their rum tastes, every rum person, it seems, dislikes their rum so much that they got to do their own blending. So we're going to be blending up a little bit of rum here with a little bit of Agricole. Lucky for me, I had some. Oh, let me say hello real quick to Alex's Life, who is watching us over on Twitch. We do have a Twitch channel, so if people are interested watching us on Twitch, you think it's too convenient? Did I already pour this in? Forgot if I poured this in. It doesn't smell like it. If not, we're going to be putting it in twice. We're going to be putting in an Agricole rum. Obviously, Agricole rum is normally, I mean, it's most famously made on Martinique. This is Martinique rum. It is made from the actual cane and not the molasses. So it's from the actual sugar. So instead of making sugar with this rum, they make rum. But sometimes rum is made from the molasses, is the other part. So after they've made sugar, they're left with molasses. They make rum out of that. I did not pour it yet. Thank you. We're going to go ahead and put in 1 ounce of a Martinique Agricole rum. Oh, it's getting a little goldener. There's a little gold in there. Oh, hopefully we find 1 barnacle. And we'll be good to go. There we go. Use these guys again to do our shaking, and then we'll serve it over 1 large cube. I'm sure, there we go. I'm sure Shannon wanted this to be served over crushy ice. There you go now. Cush, why don't you have a rum class and we can all fly in for the class? Yes. Great. Let's do that. Yes. Where do we do that? Is that a, do we do that? Should we do that some sort of college? I'm in. You let me know. You let me know. I'll tell you what. You put on the rum class and I'll fly in. I feel like that's the way to go. Give this a big shake. We're rewatching the show White Lotus, and when Steve Zahn in the first season comes in and pretends to be a gorilla, I laugh basically until I pass out. I think Steve Zahn is well underrated. I do think in our lifetime, and I will. Somebody wants to give me like 100-to-1 odds. I think Steve Zahn will win an Oscar. I just have a feeling. Steve Zahn, at some point, will take on a role where he will win an Oscar. I don't know why I feel that. I think that Steve Zahn is on an Oscar path right now, and soon Morgan Freeman will get up and he'll say, and the winner is from the great state of wherever the hell Steve Zahn's from. Steven Zahn, he gets 1. This is a nice clear cube. The low carb cocktail guy's here. Yeah, I know he's just over on Facebook. Oh, there he is. Whew. Chat not working very well on Facebook. Yes, chat is not great on Facebook. Better to have you over here. So, thanks for being here. Low carb cocktail ombre. Pour this in. Oh, it's golden. Hey, well done. Look at Shannon. She made it idiot proof. Idiot. And she made it proof of me. So I'm planning a rum class on April down here. Oh, we should go to the low carb cocktail guys class. I think that's a great idea. I want to get to Louisiana, to Nolens. I assume you live near Nolens. I feel like that would be great. Let's do that. I do have this pineapple that's just like sitting here being very sad. So we will put one of these little guys in here. Even though there is no pineapple in this drink, it'll confuse the locals when we put a pineapple fronds. Oh, dang, stupid pineapple. Now I don't care that you look sad. Put that in there. There we go. This right here, a spectacular cocktail I assume. I've never had it. Ow. I'm making it worse. I feel like there's a piece of pineapple in me. Oh, God. Don't pineapples eat flesh? Oh, am I dying? New fear unlocked. This right here is Shannon Mustafer for International Women's Day. This is Shannon Mustafer's The Golden Barnacle. I want to taste it. Very excited about it. Good work. Wow. Good work. Let me think. With a little bit, so all she was asking for was a little bit more honey. Would that make this any better? I don't think so. I'll be very honest with you. I don't think so. I think this is pretty right on. Really good. The cinnamon does good work in here. Obviously, your own cinnamon syrup will. Results may vary. Some of you will have really good cinnamon syrup. Some of you will screw it up. And that's, that's part of it. Looks good. Be better if I could taste it. Yeah, Tim, we're working on it. We're working on Taste-O-Vision. One day. Have we done Smell-O-Vision yet? Has anybody figured that out? I feel like Smell-O-Vision, I mean, it can't be that hard. It's your nose. Once we are able to open up a virtual bar where I can actually get you guys tasting these things, we will. Let me tell you what's going to happen. If we do that, nobody will show up at the show anymore because somebody else will have figured out that technology well before I could. And why would you come to my show if you could go to someone else's show and drink the drinks? Also, I probably won't survive. I do have pineapple inside of my flesh. So I'm probably going to lose a finger here in the next hour or so, and then I think you just bleed out. So this is going to be a rough one, guys. I got a rough few days ahead of me. That's what I got. Okay, let's talk about this. First of all, yes, happy birthday, very happy birthday. Oh, thank you, Davey Holt. A very happy birthday to my mom. This is of course my mom's birthday. Without my mom, let me tell you. So when we first opened the bar, I don't know if you guys remember. I don't know how many of you have been around for that long. I was bartending off of a desk. It was a desk, and my mom, who watches the show a lot, loves the show, comments and says hello, and is always asking how the show is going. She actually, as a bar warming gift, bought this bar. So without my mom, this bar would not be a thing. There would just be nothing there. My mom is the greatest bargain shopper of all time. She found it at a place called Home Goods, which has recently become my favorite store. Always find a glass or two that I want at Home Goods. And I've never seen this bar. I've never seen any other bar like it since. So without her, this would not be here. And obviously, without my mom, what would I be doing? No, I mean, literally nothing. I just wouldn't have existed. So yes. Bon remembers the desk. Yeah, it was a desk. It was a desk for a while. It was a desk that was an actual sitting desk. So I had to put risers underneath it. And I knocked that desk over multiple times. Spilling everything multiple times. So this bar has been here. So, thank you to my mom for just all the inspiration, and so glad that you happen to be born. It's not a Saturday event. It is International Women's Day is always on my mom's birthday. So I always know when that one is. So happy birthday. Next, let's talk about the rest of the week. So I have a thing. Just got a thing that I got to do on Tuesday. So, do we have any opinions? I think I want to do a show then on Wednesday and Thursday next week. So we will do a show on Wednesday, and then we will immediately clean the bar. It'll take us 23 and a half hours to clean the bar, and then we will join me back here at, let's say, 23 and a half hours later on Thursday. So we'll do a class Wednesday and Thursday. What do we used to do on Wednesday? Was it Drinker or Stinker? Maybe we'll bring back Drinker or Stinker for Wednesday. We'll find an old cocktail. We will make it. And then behind Thirst Scenes, or else we will most likely do Tiki Thursday. So I think that's what's going to happen. I do hope to have the tequila guests next week. Turns out tequila people about as hard to get a hold of as rum people. So you know, the two of us it's like we're avoiding each other, but we both are returning phone calls. That's how the next week works. So no class on Tuesday. We will be back here on Wednesday and Thursday next week. This is really good, Shannon. I don't know if Shannon's watching this. This is really a pretty good drink. Anyway, so that's what we got for next week. Let me remind you guys that these classes will and have and do and forever shall remain free. But if you can't have out the bar, and a lot of you do, I'm so, oh my God, what time is it? No, I have to get to the store. I am so thankful for everybody, for Keith and Avery and Bon who are allowed behind the bar, for the Greens, who are allowed to stay after this whole thing, and for all of you that have supported this bar in any way that you can. It really makes me fairly emotional, so I'm not going to talk about it anymore, but thank you guys all so much for keeping this bar alive. We are surviving, and we are hoping to, in this next year, be thriving. So thank you to all of you. If you cannot help out monetarily, I totally understand. I can't help any of you out monetarily right now either, so it goes both ways, everybody. But if you can't help out that way, a great way to do it is, of course, to recommend this show to other people, get people to come to the show and say hi. And the final thing that you can do is exactly what you're doing right now, which is show up. We do classes almost, we try to do Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, but we do 3 classes a week, mostly on Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays. This week, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, at 6 p.m. Pacific time, 9 p.m. East Coast time, and that is what I have for you guys. Please, oh please, oh please, oh please. Have I used the this thing once? No, I haven't used it once. Let me just get a Pee-wee in here.
How about pretty please?
Oh, please, oh, please, oh, please.
Please, oh, please, oh, please. Watch all of the names that are going to go by here. These are all my patrons. These are the people that are keeping the bar alive financially. But also watch over on these names over here, which are the people that are keeping the bar alive spiritually. There are a lot of the same names, but we're a small community, but we are strong. And what do we always say?
Why don't you take a picture? It'll last longer.
Take one picture. It'll last forever. And I will see you guys on the next one. What do we always say then?
Bye! don't you take a picture? It'll last longer.